welcome to Addicted to Real Estate TV. In today's episode, we're going to talk about how to buy real estate without selling your soul to the stinking banks. So stick around, because this is the kind of information you need to know.
To say you gotta know somebody, or know somebody to get somewhere these days. To say you know that's alright, yeah that's alright, cause you know that's alright with me. Yeah, you know that's alright, yeah that's alright, cause you know that's alright.
Hi, I'm Phil Falcone, your host of Addicted to Real Estate TV. Today's episode is sponsored by the Buyer's Briefcase. An amazing way, 12 ways actually, to buy real estate with none of your own money, without the support of banks, keep the properties, and get paid to buy them. It's something you definitely want to check out by Addicted to Real Estate. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about today's episode. How to buy real estate without selling your soul to the stinking banks. Alright? Some very famous people in the business have said there's two ways you can get yourself in a lot of trouble in the real estate investing business. One way is to write big checks for real estate deals. Another way is to sign your name personally to a bank loan for a real estate deal. Now, some of you out there are doing both of these things when you buy a piece of real estate. And that, my friends, is what I like to call double trouble. We don't do that. Experienced real estate investors don't do that, okay? What we do is something completely different. First of all, there are plenty of ways to buy real estate with none of your own money. And there are even ways to get paid to buy real estate. So stick around, I got a lot to teach you, right? What we like to do is what we call non-recourse loans, which means when you sign your name to a bank loan, okay, the bank is getting your personal signature on it. So they can come after you for not only the particular property that they lent you money on, but if you continue to owe them money after they foreclose on that property, they can come after you in other ways for any other assets that you have, and they can take your portfolio from you, or take houses from you, your home, or anything else that they want to go after. So if we've learned anything from this recent downturn in the real estate market, we've learned that this is true. People are losing their homes everywhere. You're going to buy real estate, you better be smarter than that, okay? You know, I expect you to be smarter than that. If you're watching this TV show, if you're a student of Addicted to Real Estate, we hold you to a higher standard. What we do is non-recourse loans, and what that means is when we buy a piece of real estate, we do 123 Oak Lane. The only thing that can be lost if 123 Oak Lane goes bad, and sometimes real estate deals can go bad, is 123 Oak Lane. Nothing else. Nothing else can be taken from you. And that's what we mean when we say non-recourse loans.
So hey everybody, Jeremy Ricci here, and I'm just going to add on what Phil said here. By non-recourse loans, we're saying the property is the sole collateral for the loan. And a lot of times, you're not going to get a bank to do that. And that's why we don't use banks. We use private investors. There's a couple different ways that you can have non-recourse loans. In addition to just using private lenders, you can buy a house subject to the mortgage. You can take over somebody's mortgage payments. Now, there's recourse on that loan. It's to them, it's not to you. So, by no means are we talking about in this episode not making payments on loans. We're not, you know, we make payments on our loans. We're telling you, if you don't sign personally, that the recourse is limited to the person that signed the note personally or the property. So buying subject to is a great way to do that. You make your payments, however, your name is not on the hook. You have the asset. The liability, the mortgage, is in the seller's name. So in the Buyer's Briefcase, we teach about buying subject to and all the ins and outs of that. If you've never heard of buying subject to, we recommend you at least come out to one of our workshops or our classes to learn about it. And we encourage you to buy the Buyer's Briefcase and learn all the ins and outs of subject to. The second way is private money. When we borrow private money and we take title in trust, whether it's subject to or private money, or the third way would be seller financing, any of those ways, when we buy property, we buy in trust. The trustee signs the note as trustee and not personally. So that's a non-recourse loan. Now the private lender, if we're using private money, they are going to make sure that that property stands on its own. In other words, the loan to value that they're lending, the loan to value is something that they're very comfortable that if they had to foreclose, God forbid, that they'd be very willing to own that property for the price, the amount that they're lending, plus the attorney's costs. So if they're not willing to put up the money, if they're not willing to own that property by foreclosing for the amount that they put up, then they shouldn't do the loan. Just to give you an extreme example, if there's a $100,000 house and they're lending you $10,000 in a first position, obviously that's pretty extreme. You're going to borrow more than $10,000. But if they're not willing to buy that house for $10,000, then they shouldn't put up $10,000. Maybe it's $30,000, maybe it's $50,000, maybe $75,000. At some number, they'll be comfortable lending, and at some other number they won't. So that's what you really need to keep your private investors safe. You give them a mortgage to secure against the property, and that property should stand on its own. You still need to have a promissory note to guarantee payments, but that promissory note doesn't have to be personally signed by you.
Okay, so you're probably wondering where we're driving, huh? Well, we're driving down to Florida. As we've told you before, if you watch this TV show, we're buying up properties down in the Sarasota area. And on this particular trip, we're going down to close on what will be, when we're finished with it, a $650,000 beach house on Siesta Key, #1 rated beach in the United States. If you're interested in learning more about it, all you got to do is give us a call, go to our website, gosiesta.com. You can rent space at one of our vacation rentals down there and come down and see where we think is one of the most amazing places to buy real estate today, with some of the greatest upside, and at the same time improve the quality of your life. You want to see what I mean by that? Hey Jeremy, show him the Hobie cat in the back. Okay? We're going to take that sucker out this weekend in the Gulf of Mexico, and we're going to have a great time. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing this weekend while we're looking for real estate deals. We're supposed to settle on this beach house on probably Tuesday, and we're down here looking for more deals, and we're going to make it happen because we're enjoying ourselves and we're making money at the same time. This business isn't just about making money, it's about improving the quality of your life. Isn't that what's so great about being a real estate investor? Just like the front cover of my book, you can be sitting on a beach making $840,000 a year. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you better get a copy of it. Addicted to Real Estate, Why I Can't Stop and Why You Should Start. All right, we got a big meeting coming up. If you want to learn more about how to buy real estate without selling your soul to the stinking banks, like people like Jeremy and I, like the way that we do it, you got to learn this, okay? You're not going to learn it in 5 minutes on a TV show. You need to come to meetings. And what we're going to be teaching you there is exactly what we're talking about here. How you can use the techniques of subject to, or private money, or seller financing, and how we use trust to make sure that we're not going to make mistakes with those two ways. We're not cutting big checks to people so we can go bankrupt, and we're not signing our name to bank loans. Okay? All of this is very important stuff, and if you don't know it, you better get your butt to this meeting. I'm Phil Falcone from Addicted to Real Estate. Don't forget to go to my website, addictedtorealestate.com, and get a copy of the book and sign up for this web TV show. Don't forget to go to gosiesta.com and check out some of the vacation rentals that we've got up there right now so you can come down and see what it is that we're doing. All right? All you got to do is make it happen, people. And I'll be sending you some TV shows from Florida soon. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.